your teeth!
Well done.
In this world, there's nothing quite as powerful as porno mags. At least if you're Kaname Date. It increases his speed by over 3 times. This probably isn't the most accurate elevator pitch for the Somnium files, but it's not inaccurate either. No Sleep for Kaname Date is the newest entry in the the Somnium Files series from Zero Escape director Kotaro Uchikoshi. This time, Uchikoshi takes a back seat to let a new writer and director, Kazuya Yamada, helm the project. Fans of Uchikoshi's writing go into these games with certain expectations, and the main question on my mind was whether this change in authorship would affect my enjoyment. The story picks up after the events of the first Eye. It opens on Date running away from a group of bad guys and asks you, the player, who he's running from. The game is testing your knowledge of the series to see if you've played the first game before or not. I too does something similar, but is much more direct with you about it. That said, despite my answer, No Sleep doesn't really delve into the events of the first game much. So you could play this one first, but then you'd be missing out on all of the character introductions and their backstories. You'll meet tons of characters from the first game, and No Sleep doesn't really do anything to introduce them to you. It expects you to know who they are. There are some light spoilers for the first Eye game in No Sleep, so I'd really advise you to play I1 first. If you've never played the Somnium Files, here's a quick breakdown. Kaname Date is a special officer of a secret organization in the police department known as Abyss. Abyss uses highly advanced technology to assist in solving cases, usually murder. First of all, Date is equipped with an AI ball named Aiba, an AI assistant with the ability to run fast calculations, scour the internet for information, and even use thermal and X-ray vision. Together, they can sync with witnesses and suspects and dive into their somnium, their dreams. This is the main gameplay hook of the Somnium Files. When you enter a somnium, you take control of Aiba and have to deep dive into the subject's psyche by interacting with their dream. And interact can mean a lot of things. Like throwing a dart at the top of a giant spinning merry-go-round, for instance, or tasting the food from a television show by merely licking the monitor. Dreams are zany and weird, and takes the absurdity to its limits. Even Aiba, who's usually calm and logical, turns into a cartoon character in Somnium.
Oh, my bad.
What's with that music?
I played it to provide motivation. It has nothing to do with the subject.
Well, obviously.
Her stiff, janky animations remind me of old Source Engine videos on YouTube and work perfectly in context. Somniums make for great laughs while also balancing the serious nature of many of these characters' dreams. That said, there are only a few Somniums in No Sleep, and unfortunately, I don't think they are as good as the ones that come before. They're not as obtuse as past Somniums, which makes solving them a bit easier than usual, which is fine, but the variety is sorely lacking. In the other games, each Somnium was wildly different than the last. Some had you reliving crime scenes, while others had you playing fake versions of Pokemon Go and Minecraft. None of the Somniums in No Sleep get as creative or silly as those, and that's a shame. In past games, Somniums would provide you with a choice that would split the timeline. You would then play out the events of the story based on these actions and use that new information to uncover the truth. And while not inherently a bad thing, No Sleep has no branches to speak of. The story is completely linear. If you're expecting a convoluted web of scenarios, you won't find that here. But No Sleep does feature a new gameplay mechanic: escape. Iris Sagan, the internet idol Aset, has been kidnapped and is forced to play the Third Eye game. This puts you in control of Iris, where you'll explore escape rooms looking for items, solving puzzles, and racing the clock to escape death. I found a lot of these puzzles to be immediately self-explanatory, such as take the statue with the symbol on it and put it in the hole with the same symbol on it. And despite this, the game insisted on having the characters talk out the solutions to me against my will. There are 3 difficulty settings to choose from, and 2 of them, story and normal, both had hints set to many. The only option to lower the amount of hints was to play on hard. This should be more granular. I never felt like the game allowed me to figure out the puzzles on my own, at least until the end of each escape room. At the end of escape rooms, you're presented with 2 choices that ultimately will not save you. You have to use your third eye and uncover the hidden third choice to escape. Thematically, I really enjoyed this. The visual flares really add to the tension in these moments, and some of the puzzles were legitimately tough for me to figure out. I'm not going to spoil them here, but a few of them in particular had me consulting my wife to try and brainstorm the answers together. If more of the game required this level of thinking, I probably would have enjoyed the escape games more than I did. The situations Iris finds herself in remind me a lot of Batman and the Joker. The host of the escape game, Akemi, aims to find the most extravagant ways to kill her, such as sending her off into deep space in a UFO, or trying to drown her inside of a giant wooden cube. Yet, despite the seriousness of the situation, Iris is almost always aloof and acting like a total goober, which I find very endearing. I'm of 2 minds regarding the overall story. It's the weakest of the 3 games and lacks some of the Uchikoshi insanity, but at the same time, the game really understands the characters, and you get to spend a lot of time with them. The voice performances are excellent, and the characters stay true to who they are. Ota and Moma are still ASAT fanatics, Date is still a doofy pervert, Mizuki is still a bullheaded, insanely strong 6th grader, and Iris is still...
Ah! A perv! A perv is watching me! Those are clearly the eyes of a freak!
Tessa, it's me, Ota!
Ota?
Oh, it really is you!
Really?
Their personalities shine through over the course of the story, and that says nothing of the bonus content. If you find the joke endings, the hidden eyeballs in Somnium, and complete Somniums with enough time left, you unlock a lot of extra bonus content. These range from full-on extra scenes to short, old-style visual novels with side stories. One side story was about Date's attempt to, well, you know, with a receptionist from the game. This had my wife and I laughing out loud as we watched Date completely fumble the bag. I love all of these extra moments with the characters and think the game is worth getting 100% to see them all. The game also runs great on Nintendo Switch 2, and even offers a higher resolution mode with a light sacrifice in frame rate that I actually found myself preferring over the performance mode when playing on my 4K TV. No Sleep uses the exact same assets and game engine as the previous 2 games, and I can tell you from experience that I doesn't run particularly well on Nintendo Switch 1. It's serviceable, but the experience is compromised. Having a native Switch 2 version so close to the console's launch is such a boon. It even has the option to use mouse controls, which can be helpful during investigation segments where you'll be clicking around the environment to uncover clues and information. Unfortunately, I'm not very happy with the implementation here. Mouse controls have a binary setting. They're either on or they're off. There's no seamlessness in just turning the Joy-Con on its side and using mouse mode. It's a physical setting in the game, and you have to switch it every time. Mouse mode also doesn't allow you to use the right stick in conjunction with the mouse when moving the camera, and I found that to be a real bummer. Instead, it has you right-click and drag to move the camera in third person, which I really don't like. So I ended up just switching back to standard controls and found that to be much more comfortable. I don't think No Sleep for Kaname Date is an essential entry in the I series, but if you love the characters like I do, then it's worth picking up for that alone. And despite its different approach to its story, it does fill in some of the gaps between I-1 and I-2. I know Uchikoshi was busy working on 100 Line, but I really hope he comes back to write the scenario for the next story. The new director and writer did a fine job, but Uchikoshi is at the heart of this world. No Sleep is a stopgap, and it even treats itself that way at times. But despite its flaws, it's still the Somnium Files. GVG gives No Sleep for Kaname Date from the Somnium Files a 7.5 out of 10. For all your Nintendo Switch 2 news, reviews, and everything in between, subscribe to GVG. But until then, keep the games good and the vibes greater. Bye now.